Bob!
Howdy hey, this is Frakbox, and I'm here just by myself, doing something a little bit different. So under normal circumstances, I'd be doing a Let's Play of some kind, and this is sort of like that. But I'm doing a test, almost a beta test, of Xbox's, or Microsoft's, xCloud. I don't think they're calling it xCloud right now. It's the app is actually just called Streaming, so it's like Xbox Streaming. But this is streaming right to my Xbox One at home, and I'm just going to test out how it works. We're going to open up the Master Chief Collection. It actually didn't take very long to connect because it's going from the router, so I'm not really sure, because I've seen online other people have connected through their phone to like Xboxes on Microsoft servers or something, but when it let me try to do this, it would not let me do that. It forced me to try to connect to my Xbox at my home. Sorry about the cursor there. It'll go away eventually, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so this is going off my phone. I just have it plugged in using a hub, so it's connected to my Elgato, and this is not good. This is the first time I've... Oh, okay. Okay, I guess let's start that over. That's the first time I've actually had any issues doing this. Literally the first issue. Just when I was about to go live, that's when the first issue happened, so this is all real. But yeah, I have a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. That's what it's being streamed to. And then I have a J5 Create hub that has the Xbox One controller plugged into it. I don't have the wireless Xbox One controller, or rather, I should say, I don't have the Bluetooth one, which is the most recent edition. That one can connect to Windows 10. This controller has to connect through a wire, through the micro USB port to the USB Type A, or Type 3, I guess. That's actually what took me the majority of the day to figure out, was trying to get this working. I was trying to do a mixture of what's the... So I was trying to... At first, I didn't have a hub to use, so I was trying to stream it to... what do they call those? A Google Chromecast device. I was trying to stream it there, but I ran into problems with like HDCP or something, because it's technically... oops, what? Because it basically registers itself as copyrighted information. Chromecast does. So it'll display it through the Elgato, but as soon as you like start recording, or as soon as you open up OBS, it'll be like, no, you didn't say the magic word. So I spent the whole day basically tracking down whether or not I had a way to get rid of the DHCP I don't know about encryption protocol, I guess is the right word. That mouse has not gone away yet. Let's... Hold on a second here. That mouse is supposed to go away, and I don't really know why it's not, so... I guess it's just going to be there. But... Right... Oh, okay, I think it went away. So... But yeah, the Chromecast thing didn't pan out for a number of reasons. Mainly that HDCP thing. I did manage to finagle a bunch of cords in a way that it would actually connect to my Elgato, because it's I don't have the Elgato like HD. Well, I do have the Elgato HD60, the one that plugs in through USB, but I'm letting my brother borrow that one. The one I'm using is actually one that plugs into the PCI slot in my computer, so it's a better connection. But that's neither here nor there. That's a different story. So basically, the guy at Best Buy, when I bought this hub to plug my phone into, the hub has an Ethernet port, HDMI port, 2 USB ports, as well as plugs into my phone through USB-C, right? So the guy at Best Buy that I talked to, he was pretty convinced that the Ethernet port wouldn't work for me when I plugged it into my phone, but it seems to be working, as far as I can tell, because I don't have my Wi-Fi on. Or actually, I can check here. Let me just check to see here if I have my Wi-Fi on. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is off right now, so it's connected to my Xbox. In order to connect to my Xbox, it would have to have a connection to my network, which I'll get to later. That's another story. But, oh, come on. Why Okay, sorry about that. That thing keeps popping up the bottom. It's something we just have to live with. It'll go away soon. But so this hub, I was lucky because the Ethernet does appear to be working. It is connected to a what's the word I'm looking for? A wireless. It's not a router. Like an extender, like a Wi-Fi extender, like a Netgear. But the Xbox and the phone are both plugged in directly through a wired connection to that repeater, basically. So they should have a wired connection to each other, essentially. So, oh, that's troublesome. The thing at the bottom won't go away, but that doesn't really matter, I guess. So, as you can see, it's working pretty well. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably more interested in the gameplay, so I'll probably skip this here. Oh, hold on a second here. Oh, what? Okay. To lock your phone, click the lock icon inside the Dex panel. Okay. Sorry, I gotta click something really quick. There we go. Okay. Sorry, this is a little bit of technical difficulties. This is like the first time I've done this. I plan on doing... what I was going to say is I plan on doing more things with this setup. This is the first thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to test out a couple of games on the Xbox, since it's beta. It brings a whole nother way for me to use my Xbox to create content here. And hopefully you guys enjoy. I did try to do some tests with PUBG Mobile. But that wasn't very good. You can't really use your mouse and keyboard for that, because I do have a mouse and keyboard plugged into this hub as well, through a wireless dongle. But it wasn't really working. It really wants to force you to use the touchscreen controls, which I don't like. So as you can probably see here, there is some compression going on, and it doesn't look very good when you're... well, I don't know what device you're looking on, but when you blow it up this big... Whoa! Okay, that's... What is wrong? Okay, that's... Okay, hold on. Yeah, my controller's not working anymore. Okay. Controller has stopped working. So, since I'm so close to the Xbox, I'm going to go ahead and connect a controller to it and see if I can stop that happening. It does not appear to want to listen to me. Oof. Yeah, we're gonna have to, Okay. Are we gonna be able to... That was the controller plugged into my phone. So plugging that right back in... That does not appear to want to work. So that's something Microsoft might have to work on. Ooh, okay. So I might have to start this over. Okay, looks like we're back here. I plugged in a different controller. Hopefully that works a little bit better. I don't know if it was the controller's fault or if it was something else that went on. Maybe it got disconnected and messed up. But that's another thing I could talk about. So let's go ahead and continue. Oh, okay, I guess he died without me. So... One of the reasons I had to get a hub to do this, because I did also get a USB-C to HDMI adapter. One of the reasons I had to get a hub is because I don't have the Bluetooth version of the Xbox One controller, right? So... Oh, come on. So in order to play this, had to get USB, of course. But I do have a few Bluetooth controllers. And, ooh, okay. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Okay. Alright, we're back. Let's see if that happens again. I switched back to the original controller. Let's see if the problem happens again. Hopefully it doesn't, because literally in all the tests that I did, that did not happen at all. So, I have a feeling with maybe, like, the USB micro cable is just not connected well enough. That guy stepped a little bit more forward than he usually does. Chips Debo. Okay. So, one thing I wanted to point out was, as I was talking about before, I do have Bluetooth controllers. However, Microsoft recommended that you use the Xbox One controller, right? So that's what I'm doing, but not necessarily for that reason. I tried using actually Switch Joy-Cons to see if those would work, and those just did not work at all. I tried using an 8-bit Do controller, this controller, which is, I'll just get a close-up on there. I really like this controller. I use it for my Switch all the time, but it sort of worked. This worked. I could move just fine there. This kind of worked. Not very well. But the triggers were all messed up. They were just the wrong thing, and then you couldn't look up or down, you could only move around, so it's one of those things where it was just unusable. And on the Xbox One, you don't have the same mapping options that you do on PC, so if it were on the PC, I might be able to like give it a try and see if I can get it to work. But since it's on the Xbox, can't change the mapping. But yeah, the controller I'm using is a day one Xbox One controller, so if this didn't work, I'd be very surprised. It's just a matter of getting it connected, which it seems to do now. So, as you can see, the cutscenes look fairly good. It's when there's a whole lot of movement that it has trouble. I always laugh because the Master Chief's arm just looks so small compared to the rest of his body when you're in the new graphics. I don't think you can switch back and forth. Yeah, in the cutscenes it doesn't let you switch back and forth between the new and old graphics. But as you can see, or rather as you were able to see when there was a lot of movement, it doesn't look super good. It does look better on the old graphics. So after we get back into the game, I'll switch back to the old graphics and you can see that. Yeah, nothing surprising here. We'll just go ahead and move on. Okay, so switching back to the old graphics, it does look fairly okay. You can still definitely see some compression going on, but it looks way better. Obviously, that's because the textures aren't as, intense. And frankly, I kind of prefer the game this way anyway. However, when you do that, you don't get to see the grunt birthday party things, so we'll turn it back. Well, occasionally we'll turn it back, I guess. Oh, I forgot that wasn't fully loaded. Oh, I'm forgetting the buttons. I went to bash him and it wasn't the button. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this game... Oh my gosh, come on. Ooh! Okay. What was funny is when I was doing some tests of this game, I kept dying when I didn't have a weapon. And I was like, I don't remember dying so much during the first opening part. Usually, I didn't think you could die during the first opening part, actually, where you don't have a weapon. I thought they, kept you from being able to die, but I guess you can. And I was dying a whole lot during the tests. And unfortunately, I don't think I have them saved anymore. I think I got rid of them to save space, but... Yeah, it looks really good when you're just doing the regular graphics here, but most people don't. At some point, I'll probably do a test where I'm doing, a 2D game. Like Sonic. I think Sonic would be a really good test because it's a 2D game, but there's still a lot of, movement on the screen. Oh, I have no grenades. So, there's not a whole lot of lag. I'm just not very good at the game. So... As you can probably tell by if you've ever watched my channel before, I'm just not good at Halo. Let's see here, which is why I'm playing on Heroic and not Legendary, because I actually want to get through the level fairly quick. So as you can see, this is basically what you can expect if you download the Xbox streaming app on your phone. Again, I have a fairly good phone, so, the bottleneck is not my phone, if there's any bottleneck at all. I also wanted to give it every opportunity to succeed, which is why I'm using a wired connection from my phone, oddly enough, as I said before, to the Xbox. So this is the best case scenario for this, because it's wired connection right from the Xbox One to my phone, which is a really good phone. Now, let's see here. I was going to say something, but I couldn't think of anything to say. There's a couple of things that I know about routers and networking that at first I thought would be an issue, but then I realized that it wouldn't be an issue. So basically, it's a wireless repeater that I'm using, but they're wired, so that shouldn't be an issue. The only connection to the internet this requires is, you know, obviously the phone itself and the Xbox have to be connected to Xbox Live in order to function. But they have to maintain a connection to each other. So, let's see here. Now, I did do some tests. I'm going to switch back to the better graphics, the more updated graphics, just so you can see some things. Aha! I did some tests without the hub, just going off of Wi-Fi completely. Well, the Xbox was still connected the same way it's connected, but the phone was connected through Wi-Fi at the other end of the house, and it actually it didn't work as well as this, to be honest. There was more compression artifacts on the screen, so this is actually working quite well. Oh goodness! I turned on the thing that doubled the explosions. That's why I was dying so much. That explains why my tests were failing, why I kept dying in the beginning, because I kept getting hit by grenades. So, it's all making sense now. Okay. So, I'll have to go back and look at the footage, but there appears to be kind of a delay when the sounds happen. I don't know if that's like... I'm plugging it in my headphones to my television rather than to, like, the controller. So I think that might be my television that's the problem. But I'll listen to the audio, and obviously you'll be able to tell whether or not there's a delay or not, you know, as you're watching, you know, since I'm not able to. But perceivably for me, there appears to be a delay. But yeah, that might not be the thing's fault. So okay. Yeah, there's a lot of compression artifacts here. So oh boy, okay. So I don't know if that was the Xbox and the network and the phone like catching up with each other. If they have some sort of like rollback protocol for that, or if that was my Xbox One, because this Xbox One is from like day one, like 2013. So it is kind of old. I'm glad that the new Xbox is coming out this year. Since I have Game Pass, I can basically play a lot of these games already. So I'm not going to have to worry about, you know... Basically, the whole reason I'm getting the Xbox One is because... basically, I need to get an updated version of the Xbox anyway. This Xbox is kind of on its way out. So I'm seeing it as a replacement for this Xbox, which is also an upgrade. So it's better than what I currently have. So... a lot of people are kind of like, oh, the Xbox One, it's, you know, because Halo was just announced to be delayed, Halo Infinite. And I don't really care. I'm more of like a PC and Switch gamer now, actually. So, for me, that's bad. For me, it doesn't really matter what the specs of the PlayStation are. I just don't really want a PlayStation, to be honest. The games don't really appeal to me all that much. You know, and plus I know how Xbox works more than I know how PlayStation works, because I can't really go into why that is, but suffice it to say, I know the Xbox better than I know the PlayStation. So, let's see here. I've in a professional environment, I've basically worked as an auxiliary to the games industry, so I kind of have a somewhat of an idea of how the Xbox works a little better. I can't really get into too much detail. So,
on the landing above us.
So this is a fairly good test. I think this kind of... I don't think I really need to play anymore, because this kind of shows what it's like. I think the next test I'm going to do is a 2D game to see how that streams. But so far, this is working pretty good. I mean, not that I really need to, But if I really wanted to, I guess I could play on my phone. But I don't really have the fancy attachment that lets me, like, basically hook my phone to the front of the controller. You know what I mean? So, for me, I'm actually just playing this the same way I would play my Xbox. It's on the same screen. It's, you know, so it's kind of, it's kind of funny that this was harder to set up than the actual Xbox, you know? Oh, this is bad. This is bad. It took literally like all day to get to this point, so it's interesting that it took more effort to get a worse signal to play the same game. I don't know. That's just funny to me. I don't know if that's funny to anybody else. So, but yeah, I mean, the way this works, I don't know. I'm going in one direction. Okay, well, I'm having the controller issues again, so I think this is a good place to stop. I'll go ahead and... okay, so I just used another controller. So I'll go ahead and end it here. That's a good showcase of the beta. I'll put some relevant information in the bottom, in the doobly-doo, I guess. If you want to join the Discord that I have, if you want to talk to me or anybody who knows me or people who are fans of the channel, I'll also have a link to the Discord there. And thanks for watching. This is Frakbox. Have a great day.